Alrighty traders, hello everybody. So let's have a look across the markets today to get started for the week. Metals. Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, if you haven't done so yet, make sure that first link in the description there, guys, you can get access to my free trading course that I'm giving away for free. So let's go look at the actual markets today. And man, oh man, one of the really big things we're seeing right now, and I really want you to, or should I say, here's the thing. When I'm trading the markets, one of the most powerful things that I can do as a trader is when I'm analyzing the actual market itself, and I was talking about this with my actual clients, is the number one thing we should be looking at is the weekly charts. And I want you to, or should I say, I encourage you to add just one simple moving average, which is a 24 moving average. Because here's the thing, when we're actually trading the markets, right? When we're actually getting involved with these things, this thing here called trading, okay? After a period of time when we start to get involved, one thing I really have learned is that if I can just trade with the overall momentum in the market, yeah, there's going to be some short-term pausing, right? But if I can trade with the overall momentum of the market, then I'm going to be right more times than not, right? Because that's what we want, right? We want to be able to be right more times than not. So this is one of the most powerful things that I can do as a trader that really helps me get on the right side more times than not, is this one simple technique here. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is the number one thing that I was telling all my clients, that I see a lot more upside in silver, right? I see a lot more upside. If you've been following me now for the last few months, you would know, right? I'm saying, here we go. Let's get ready for another move up in silver, right? We've been talking about that. So here's the thing, right? Here's the deal. When I'm looking at these markets, one of the most powerful things is this, right? If we have some sort of trend, established in the market, okay, which simply means, what does that mean? That just simply means having higher highs and higher lows, right? We come up, higher low, right? So we have some sort of trend established in place. But even if we just, you know what, forget the whole trend analysis here for a minute, right? Let's just make it really simple for you. I want you to look at the moving averages here. I want you to look at this moving average here, okay? And if you have a look at this here, right, there's a few things obviously the moving average can do, right? We can end up being flat overall, right? You can see here, it's pretty much flat, right? We have a nice trending up through here, okay? Nice trending up through here, okay? So one of the most powerful things I want you to do, I want you to think about when it comes to these markets, is I want you to think about, okay, when I'm trading these markets, one of the things that I think a lot of amateurs do in the markets is this. They see these markets as, they're looking at the markets from a too shorter term perspective. So if I bring up this here, let's just bring up this one here, and I bring this in here, right? What they're looking at is they're looking at this level here. Now, this is important, right? Because when it comes down to the way that I personally trade, yes, I'm waiting for the type of bar entry to give me like, okay, now I'm getting ready to get into it, right? So yes, I'm waiting for that type of entry. So when I'm personally trading, I'm waiting for that. But one thing that I don't see here, right, is this. I don't see where the overall big momentum is, right? Because I want to have a good win-loss ratio, and I want to have the chance or the probability of getting involved, right, with these markets where I can capitalize on some really big moves, right? Which might take, you know, a few weeks, sometimes a couple of months to really unfold, right? Now, by the way, guys, I hope you can see too, from you trading the markets, okay? If you look at the markets as a whole, if you're trying to make a big profit in the markets, big profits come from big trends, and big trends take time, okay? So a big profit tends to have with lots of time, right? And what I mean by that is, if you're trying to generate a big profit in one day, oh, I made a really massive profit today. That's generally not how the markets work, right? Unless you're trading intraday charts. If you are trading intraday charts, meaning like 1 minute charts, 2 minute charts, 5 minute charts, that is very, 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 very difficult, right? But generally speaking, by trading these markets, the big thing about these markets is what? The big thing about these markets is that big profits generally come from big trends, and big trends generally take a few weeks, sometimes a couple of months to really unfold, right? So a big profit in the market is probably going to take you a good few weeks to a few months for it to really unfold if you're looking for a big profit in the market. The reason I'm saying that is I want to neutralize your journey. If you're trying to load up to make a lot of money today, it's probably not a good idea. So back to the regularly scheduled video today for you guys. The big theme around this here is I've always been bullish silver. As you guys would know, right? I've been saying get ready for a breakout with silver, get ready for a breakout with silver. So I've always been, and now why have I? Even when this was happening through here, right? We're getting all this downward movement through here. What was the big thing? The big thing was that weekly chart. And this is where, as you can see, right, even though the market, if you look at this moving average here, and this is where it gets really awesome. See how the moving average was always up through here? So even though the market was coming down, if the moving average is trending up, the market is more likely to hold and then continue in that direction. It's more like a magnet, right? You see it even through here. Look at this here. Up through here, it actually came down, and the moving average was still trending up, and then it had a magnet that pushed to the upside, right? But then look what happened. Then we started flattening out. So even when it come down this time through here, the moving average flattened out, and then we went really flat, right? As you can see, really flat through here. And there wasn't really anything through there. So that's one of the big things I really want to teach you around in this video here, because obviously, you know, gold and silver explodes to the upside, which, by the way, gold has been such a phenomenal trading vehicle for me this year, right? I've had two really amazing quality successful trades out of the gold movement this year. So, but I really wanted to share that with you, right? So whenever you trade in the markets, I want you to be able to say, okay, if we do have a strong trending moving average, we want to be going with that overall. And so therefore, and when we are starting to get the pullback or bit of a drop down towards the moving average, but the moving average is strong trending up, I want you to say to yourself, this could be a short-term little drop before we continue the overall upward trend from here, right? And this here is going to keep you emotionally controlled in the markets by utilizing this sort of technique here, right? Up, down, really sort of strong moving through here, and then away we go. Okay, so this is the technique here that's really helped me stay bullish this entire time with this here. This is the number one thing here. What is the moving average doing? Squeeze your charts up for a couple of years. What's the moving average doing? Is it overall flat through here? Therefore, there's no momentum in the market. And if it's overall trending up, then that's what we're seeing through there, right? So the reason why I'm saying that is because that's been the number one thing that I've used. That's been the number one thing that I've used all through this period through here to say that I believe that the silver is going to start to pick up again soon, and away we go, right? So just utilize that. I guarantee it's going to really help you with your own trading. If you're looking for really good trades, go with wherever. If we have a strong trending moving average, right, either down or up, and you're looking for a good trading opportunity, go with that overall longer term moving average, right? So if you're trading, say, a 5-minute chart, right, I would say if you're trading a 5-minute chart or a 15-minute chart, use an hourly chart with the 24 moving average, and wherever that is trending, look for opportunities to go with that. Okay, that's obviously the basis of what I use. And then I filter that through there. So, and again, the reason why I'm bringing this up here in today's video is because this is the number one thing that's really helped me stay on the bullish side, stay on the right side of this entire market, right? On the right side of this entire market, even through this whole gold movement through here. Now, the thing with gold is still on a danger territory here. And the reason why is, as you can see, that gold has been continuing just having an absolutely just explosive move to the upside. explosive move to the upside, very, very, very strong trending. And as you can see, right, look at this here. As we started to pick up through here and pick up through here, all through this time, even through here, if you were thinking the market was going to crash, or you're going to look for short gold, you can see how you would have got run over big time from going against a very simple, important rule. And that is, if we have a strong trending moving average on the weekly chart, 24, then you want to simply go with that, right? We want to go with that in mind so we can be on the right side, right? And that's I have two, for my personal trading system that I use. Again, I teach you for free in that course, but my personal trading system I use is I have two different types of levels of trades, right? Level 1 type of trade is more like a shorter term trade, might be in it for maybe a few days, maybe a few weeks, right? But then I have a level 2 type of trade, and the level 2 type of trade is what I'm talking about here, right? Is I have my trading set up, but I'm making sure that I'm utilizing this here, because you can tend to get quite big moves over the course of a few months when utilizing this technique, right? So especially when you start to overlay trend analysis like lows, higher lows, and higher lows, and then look at the moving average. At 1, it keeps you on the right foot. 2, it helps you, it potentially gets you in for a nice, really good move. And 3, it stops you from getting into trades. If you're thinking the market's going to go down here, but the moving average is going up, then you're probably going to get run over. And this is a big thing that I saw for you guys on the S&P 500. This is a really big thing that I saw right here. Right here. So as this was right there, right? So see how the market was coming down through here? Coming down through here, coming down through here, coming down through here, right? So as you can see, but what was the moving average doing? Strong to the upside. We were still trending. See how we're still trending to the upside? Look at this here. Look at the moving average overall to the upside through there. So every single time, this is a very, very, very simple, powerful technique to use to help you stay on the right side. So as we're starting to get these freakouts or these shake and bakes or these what we'll call counter trends, right? Counter trend, because as you know, a trend is what? Up, counter trend, up, pullback, up, counter trend, which is the, this here is counter trend, counter trend, counter trend, counter trend, counter trend, counter trend, and then a counter trend through here, right? If you want to know what the probability is start to look at the moving average, right? Is this the top? Is the top in? Or is the crash going to start? Is this starting to roll over? What's going on here? And so if we do start to get this, and we start to get, just say these are weekly bars, right? Weekly bars, but then suddenly the moving average is coming up through there. There's a very high probability chance, we may go below it, but there's a very high probability chance the moving average is going to push it to the upside. And so as you can see through this entire year, and if you've been following me now for this entire year, you would know that I was saying on YouTube and all over the place, stay calm. There's no need to freak out. And that was right here on this section right here when this was happening. Because on the daily charts, if we go back to the daily charts, when this market was coming down through here, and let me take it off with no moving averages, right? So as this market was having this big drop down through here, right? This big nice, 10% freak out. You guys remember that, right? When we're getting the big sort of 10% freak out from here, and people were worried about what's going on in the markets. All I utilized was that one simple technique, which was, okay, is the top in? Well, it's all about probability, right, guys? It's all about probability. So if the top is in, I'm like, okay, is the top in, or is this just people getting really emotional because the market is going down, right? So what I did is I simply said, okay, let's go look at the weekly charts with the big trend, because what can happen is, you might get this sort of action happening on the daily charts, but this sort of action here on the daily charts, all that may be is up, down, up, and then down. So this period all through here, that period all through there, before we then go back up and continue the upward trend, especially we've got the moving average coming up through there somewhere. This bit through here, which might be a few months, by the way, that can up be a few months. That bit through here might be just this sort of short-term drop through here. So if we're looking at the weekly charts, but the moving average is coming up, especially if the moving average is coming up through here somewhere like that, and we're pulling back for a few months, just like we did back here, even through here, even through here, right? We start to get that pushing effect of the market, and it helps you, one, stay emotionally controlled, but two, it helps you look for potentially good opportunities. Like, oh, this is actually a good opportunity. This might be a bit of a slingshot move going on, right? Come down, boom, and a slingshot move to the upside, right? So who likes my pink today, right? You like my pink? That's like a pinky boy. Anyway, so that's probably the big thing I really want to share with you there, is that's the first thing I want to say with you when it comes down to what has kept me on the right side of the foot, on the right side of this market this entire year for the actual stock market, even things like the Dow Jones, right? Look at the Dow Jones. Why have I been bullish this entire market this entire time? Now, I've been looking for sometimes shorter term drops, but look at this here, up and up through here. What is this? So as you can see, right, look at this here. Every time we had these drops, now these are weekly bars, right? So this is over the course of 2 to 4 weeks, you know? We're talking 14 to 30 days of downward movement. But why did we continue push back up, push back up, push back up? Why did this drop here to continue to push back up? Why is that? Well, the reason why that is because of what? And I know this sounds really, really, really simple, right? But whenever the moving average is still trending up at that time, there's a high probability, if we are getting that drop, that the moving average is going to push it to the upside. This is the same for the downside as well too, right? Same for the downside. If the moving average is coming down through here and we get a bit of a rally, a bit of a rally for a few months, but the moving average is still trending down, the moving average sort of like drags it down in that movement, right? Well, look, this is for trading opportunities here. Investing long term is a completely different sort of approach in the market, right? But I'm trying to share with you just one simple thing you can utilize within your own trading. I'm trying to use this as an example of, you know, how you would have been on the right side of the foot with silver and not being emotionally, oh, I'm not really quite sure, just by utilizing this one simple thing to really help you and guide you through this process, right? And then the other thing that I utilize with the moving average is I just understand that whenever the market does get too far away from it, if we just look back through history, right? Whenever we do get too far away from it, we tend to have these pullbacks, right? So right now, even though we're in a strong upward movement, and we still can keep going higher, right? But I know the distance of the moving average of where we get with this here before we start to go through a bit of a sideways period, or you know, something like that. Make sense? So there's a big thing through there, and that's why, guys, even from like what I say, King Russell, right? Why have I been saying King Russell this entire time, even though we've been getting a lot of volatility? Look at this here, up and down and up and down and up, and look at this here, up and down and up and down and up and down. So much volatility all through here through this entire year. But why have I been? What is my big theme? Big thing has been King Russell. I may even put that in one of the titles today, right? King Russell. Why have I been saying King Russell and I've been bullish Russell this entire time? In fact, I've been in Russell for a long time, right? And benefiting from this upward move overall this year. Why is that? And again, this sounds really, really simple, but this is going to really help you guys out, I promise you. Look at this here. So for a while there, what ended up happening? See, the moving average was flat through here. See how the moving average was flat? So if the moving average is flat and it's overall just going sideways, well, guess what? There is no strong momentum, because the moving average is like a momentum indicator for me. So there is no strong momentum in the market. So therefore, I'm not too quite sure. Is it going to break out? Is it going to break up? Is it going to break down? Like, what's it going to do here? That's when we're not too quite sure, right? So therefore, we step back. Okay, cool. But when the moving average starts to trend either up or down, we're starting to get a big longer term, again, weekly chart, 24 moving average. We're starting to get a longer term momentum in the market. And therefore, we can say, oh, okay, cool. There's a massive probability that the market's probably going to continue because of this moving average overall still trending nicely to the upside. So even though we had these little drops and drops and drops and drops, I've always been saying what? King Russell. And one of the really big things, it keeps it really simple, is even though that short term, there's really few weeks to maybe a month of really big sharp drops in the markets, the moving average really hasn't really slowed down at all. We haven't gone back to flat. What we don't want to see is that if the market goes up through here and then we see how we flatten out through there, that's when we tend to get what? If we do get a breakout, it's probably going to be a false breakout because the moving average is flat, and then we start to get the reversal. See that through there? So because the moving average is not flat right now, I have always been saying King Russell. And again, the number one thing I've been utilizing has been trend analysis, which is highs and lows. We've been making higher lows all the way up. Okay, low, high, low, high, low, high, low. But to keep it really simple for you guys in today's theme, to really give you something to really help you, one, take the confusion out of the market, two, stay on the right side, and three, help you maybe keep your emotions at bay a lot more as we do go through these shake and bakes, is by utilizing the moving average. And that's why I've always stayed bullish this entire time around the Russell from there. So that's what I really wanted to cover with you guys in today's video here. And the moving average really gives us a good gauge and a good guidance, guys, right? A good gauge and a good guidance from here. Now, if we go look at things like, now based off what I just said there, right? Again, it's so powerful in the markets. So I've been quite bearish oil, right? As you guys know, I've been quite bearish with oil. Now, if I've been quite bearish with oil in the markets, why have I been doing that? Again, guys, like I just want to be able to utilize things that can give me a really good chance of having a successful trade and a successful trading career. What are the things that I can use, right? That's going to help me in my trading, help me, take the confusion out. Even if it's not a trading opportunity, like what can I utilize in the markets? Some simple things like a moving average on a weekly chart. Right, a moving average on a weekly chart, as you can see to the left here, this is the S&P 500, by the way. So what can I utilize to help me to say, okay, and let me just open this up a bit more. What can I utilize to say, okay, what's going on here? Are we in a topping pattern right now? Is this the top right now? Or is this just probably just going to continue in an overall big strong trend for a while? Right? And by utilizing that, as you can see here, look at this here. The moving average was strong to the upside through here, all through here. So every time we got that, and even that, then the market pushed up. Then guess what happened? Then the moving average started to flatten out for a few months. And then that's when we started getting the topping action, when the moving average flattened out. But due to the fact that, once again, through to the upside. And so my main thing around this here is how do I give you guys some simple things to really look out for that's really going to make a big difference in your own trading when it comes to emotional control. Even if there's no trading opportunities, you can say, you know what, there's just by the way these things work, there's a high probability that this is going to continue up. And that's why, once again, that's when the whole people were freaking out that the top was in and so on and so forth. And I'm like, no, don't worry about it. This is probably just going to continue up because then we continue that movement from there. Makes sense? So, and the reason why I'm bringing that up here is because if I look at oil, what is oil starting to do? Right? And this is where like I'm just to keep it really simple, right? Just to keep it really simple. Now, obviously anything can change, but what's happening with oil right now? We were overall flat, right? We're coming down through here, coming down. Now we're going flat through here. But what's been happening the last few months? The last few months has been doing what? High, lower high, and now it's a lower high, right? So we're in a downward trend. Remember, this is a weekly chart. But what's the moving average been doing now for the last month? It's actually starting to trend down. So we're starting to get these lower highs and the trend of the moving average coming down. Now there's a lot of momentum and pressure on the downside from here. So anyone that was fooled by this short-term rally, the moving average, pushed it back down. And so people, because I know a lot of people, I know some people, if I look at the chart to the right here, this is the daily chart, this movement all through here was just, and this is why it's important to keep an eye on the weekly chart, right, guys? That movement all through there was that what? That was through there. But what was coming through? What was coming down through here? Look at the moving average coming down through there, right? And then look what happened. Then, bam, then we end up getting pushed back down again through here. Right? We end up getting what? We end up getting pushed back down again. We end up getting pushed back down again. So people are thinking the bottom's in through here. Just look at the trend analysis, the highs and lows, which is lower highs, lower highs. If the market's rallying up through here and we're still making a lower high, this could be another lower high. And then we overlay that with the moving average. You start to say, if I am in a trade right now, I'm probably guessing, you know, and the thing is, guys, is that there's always a % chance of this, you know, this doing this, or like that doing that, and then continue up, and then we start to flatten out, right? There's always, but if you're looking for a majority of the probability, call it 70, 80% of the time, that we're likely to do this thing, and that is this thing. And what is that thing? That is that I'd have to say a very high % of the time, and if the weekly charts are coming down through to here and the weekly moving average is still trending up, we've seen many examples of the Russell today. We talked about silver, why silver has always been in a bullish mode, even though we went through a bit of a lot of you know, sideways movement, which for most people that were impatient, they were sort of freaked out by that. You know, and so on and so forth. So that's what I really wanted to share with you in today's video there, guys. I hope this really helps you out. Leave a comment below, guys, and I'd like to see if you guys are interested in the silver market. Where do you think silver is actually going to right now? We're definitely having a very strong breakout through here, but where do you think silver is ultimately going to head to when it comes to these overall markets? Let me know, guys.